You're Hey guys. So it's 7:41 p.m. at night, so excuse me if my energy feels a bit off in this video. We should be on we're still in Act 2. Act 2 of this game. This is episode 2, building your character. This is going to be a psychology video. Just me talking to you, person behind the screen. This is not really going to be a trading video. I encourage you to sit through it, because if you can sit through all of these episodes, you'll walk away with a better understanding of how to trade and a better understanding of how to look at the market in a easier to see way and get rid of all the noise. So what I want to talk about in this episode is what it takes, what kind of game character it takes to be a successful trader inside of the market, and what it means to be a successful trader. So to deep dive into you as a character in trading, and once again, throughout this whole series, I want you to think in terms of video game logic. So when we're talking about the character in trading, so you have to first understand what makes up your character in the first place, right? I mean, you know yourself as a person, but in terms of trading, what makes up the character? Well, it's simple. Every loss equals you taking damage, right? The only way you can lose in a video game is if you take damage, right? Because it'll eat away at your health bar. Big losses equal out to critical hits. So just like in a video game, when you take a big hit, it hurts, right? It knocks your health bar down a lot. But just like in a video game, it's not impossible to come back off of. But it does hurt, and it hurts a lot, and it might take a while to come back off of, especially in trading. And it takes a lot of self-control and discipline. Account blown equals character equals character deleted. Understanding that these three things are what make up your character stats in terms of HP base, in terms of capital, what you're willing to risk. You have to understand this in video game logic. Every loss you take equals you taking damage, just like in a video game. Every big loss you get hit with is a critical hit, just like in a video game. Every account you blow, that is your character being deleted. If you blow an account and your character is deleted, you've essentially hit the game over screen. You have to understand what it is that you're trying to do in the first place. Everybody throws around this term day trader. Oh, I'm a day trader. But do you even know what that means? Really think about, do you know what that means? I trade during the day? No, bro. To be a day trader means you are a risk manager. You manage risk. You are managing risk throughout a set period of time. That is what your job is. And I've heard nobody talk about this or say this out loud personally. To be a day trader means to be a risk manager. Everybody teaches you how to trade. Everybody has their own strategy, but nobody puts emphasis on the you being a risk manager part of day trading. If day trading had a job description, that is what it would be. You are a risk manager. You must understand, in order to go far in this game, you have to understand these three things here on the screen, right? These three things here you must understand. The truth is, risk management is health management. Managing your risk in day trading is managing your health bar in a video game. I don't know. We've already gone over exactly what your health bar is in day trading. If you took notes, you're able to look down right now and know what it is. It is simply what you're willing to lose. And then what you're willing to lose, you're trying to keep that alive by managing your risk. That is all day trading is. It's knowing when to control yourself. It's knowing when to walk away. It's knowing when to sit on your hands. And believe it or not, that's the hard part. All those things, plus some. What nobody ever talks about, everybody wants to talk about trading psychology. Saying trading psychology, this, trading psychology, that. Bro, trading psychology isn't about emotions. It's not. It's about energy management and decision quality. Think about it. Everybody's always talking about trading psychology. And control your emotions, control your emotions. Bro, trading psychology is not about emotions. It is about your energy management and your decision making quality. That is what day trading is. That is what being a risk manager is. Can you manage your energy efficiently? And how was the quality of the decision? And the only way that you can see those two things is if you document your trades. We'll deep dive into how to properly journal your trades and apply it to your trading in a later video. You must understand, though, is that when you get into trading, you're not fixing feelings. You're managing your character with limited resources. Okay? You grow as a person as you become a better trader. Hopefully, become a better trader. You grow as a person. So those emotions become a bit better the emotions you deal with become a bit better to maintain. However, you're human at the end of the day. You can't control every emotion that spills out of your body, especially when it comes to something like trading. You can only manage it. You're managing a character with limited resources. You're not fixing your feelings. You are managing your energy and your decision-making quality. Let me give you an example. Say you have $1,000 on the table and you're betting that in 2 hours, egg prices will go up. If in those 2 hours, egg prices go up, you'll win $2,000. But if they go down, you'll lose all your money. You're actively in a trade for egg prices. You're seeing the price fluctuate up and down. You're down negative $500 out of your $1,000. Have you asked yourself yet, how am I feeling? How is my mental capacity in the moment? Do I need to get up and walk away from the screen? Am I tapping my foot? It's these little things you need to think. Well, if you ask yourself in that moment, man, I sure am sweating a lot. Am I sweating a lot? Oh man, I sure am sweating a lot. Why are you sweating a lot? Because you weren't okay with putting up that $1,000 to risk anyways. You failed to manage your risk. And now, because you failed to manage your risk, your decision-making quality was poor. And now you're failing to manage your energy. As where, let's say in that same example, I put up only $100. And if I bet for egg prices to go up, if egg prices go up, I make $200. I'm sitting through that trade. I'm watching prices fluctuate. My trade is down negative $50 out of my $100. I ask myself the same questions. Am I sweating? Am I tapping my foot? Do I need to get up and walk away? How do I feel in this current moment? Well, no, I'm not sweating. I'm not tapping my foot. I'm okay. Well, why is that? Because I was okay with risking my $100 out of my $1,000. Would it suck to lose that $100 out of my $1,000? Yes. But I'm not stressing over it, right? Because I still have money, right? My account is still alive. My account is still alive. That is a small example of what I am talking about. I don't know if it's the best example, but it's a small example of what I'm talking about. Trading psychology is not about emotions. It's about energy management and your decision-making quality. The best way I can show you this is to do it in a live trade example. I can only talk about it so much. So we will wrap back around to this at a later point in a later video. But you must understand that. The next thing you have to understand is your stamina. You're not physically running. You're not physically running. But you need to understand, as a trader, you do have a stamina bar in this game. Your stamina bar is your mental energy. You can feel fatigued. You get tired. You get sleepy. These things happen. You lose focus, you lose patience, and you lose self-control. You need to understand that overtrading is simply just your stamina bar is drained. If you are overtrading, your stamina bar is drained. You can no longer sprint. Why are you still trying to sprint? Stop. If you're revenge trading, you're panic sprinting. You're pressing the sprint bar for no reason. You're panicking, right? You start running and then you stop. You start running, then you stop. You start running, then you stop. What are you doing? Late sessions. If you're trading late sessions, you're fighting exhausted. You need to understand. Most people, they don't lose because of their trading strategy. They just fought tired. They fought with a drained stamina bar. They panic sprinted, or they tried to trade when their stamina was drained. They lacked focus, patience, and self-control. That is the three things that make up a stamina bar in trading are focus, patience, and self-control. You have to understand those three things. The third thing I want to talk about is who you think you are. Who do you think you are? What is your identity? Who is your character? Because this is the root problem. I think most traders identify as like egotistical. I'm smart. I'm aggressive. I need to win today, right? You probably felt like this a couple of times. Cocky, like you got one over on the market today, or you'll put a label on yourself like, "Oh, I'm an aggressive trader," or "I need to win today." Bro, the market doesn't care what you think or say. You need to understand that. It does not care. I've noticed that like winning traders, they don't ever put like a label on themselves. They don't say, "I'm smart, I'm aggressive, I need to win today." They don't say those things. The only thing they care about is if they executed their system correctly. if they protected their character at the end of the day? Did they keep the game alive? Can they play tomorrow? They only care about if they survived the session. That's all they care about, is their health bar and their character. Because they know they can't control all the other things in the market. The one thing you can control is your playable character. That's all they care about. System execution, did I protect my character, and did I survive the session? I've noticed that. You have to understand that whatever market you decide to play in, it attacks your identity before it attacks your account. You have to understand that. Whatever market you decide to trade in, it is going to attack your identity before it attacks your health bar, before it even thinks about attacking your health bar on your character. It is going to attack your identity. So who do you think you are? I'll ask you again. Who do you think you are? I'm smart. I'm aggressive. I need to win today. The market owes me this. No, it doesn't, bro. It doesn't care. It does not care. Worry about the things you can control. Your system, protecting your character, and surviving the session you're trading in. Because the market will attack your identity before it attacks your health bar. I think there's 3 main things when it comes to psychology. At least like 3 main boss fights. And man, I would love to sit here and talk about this stuff for hours. If you want to sit and talk about this kind of stuff for hours, just check out my Discord down below. Go ahead and join up. It's completely free. And just hop in a call or hop in the chat and have some conversations. I love deep talks. But anyways, the 3 main psychology bosses when it comes to trading is the most obvious one. It's tilting. Tilting is simply, in video game terms, it's emotional damage. Unexpected loss or a missed trade, right? I mean, we don't need to overcomplicate it. You know what tilting is. We've all thrown a controller. We've all probably broken a controller. That's what tilting is. You failed to keep your cool. And just like any other negative emotion, when there's a cause, there's an effect. Well, if the cause of tilting is unexpected losses or missed trades, what do you think the effect of that is? Impulsive decision making. Think about that. Right? Hold on, let me sit up. Really think about that. If the cause of tilting is unexpected losses or missed trades, for every cause there's an effect. That means the effect can only be impulsive decision making. Well, if we go back to our earlier examples, when we were looking at the game characters in Act 2 of this video series, what did I say the number 1 cause impulsive decision making leads to overtrading, impatience, and bad decision making? So if we know what causes all 3 of the things that kills a majority of traders, right? That kills a majority of traders' characters, what can we do so we avoid that from happening? Well, if we're thinking in video game terms, the answer is simply don't trade. Your character is currently debuffed. You have a slow status effect on your character. You're not going to be moving as efficient and as fast as everybody else on the board. There's a timer on the slow status effect. It says it takes the average person 20 to 30 minutes to calm down when they're upset. The slow status effect says 20 minutes. Why would you play a video game where you're at a disadvantage for 20 minutes? Why would you do that to yourself? The answer to avoiding tilt, avoiding impulsive decision making, bad decision making, and loss of quality in decision making when tilting, so when taking unexpected losses or a missed trade, is simply to never trade while you're tilted. You have a slowness status effect 5 fucking debuff on your character. Close the screen. I know it's hard because in video games, you're thinking to yourself, oh, I'll just get back out there. I'll make them pay. 9 times out of 10, you're not going to make them pay, bro. Especially in these markets. You have to learn to play the game by the rules or the game will play you. Close the screen. Cut it off. Overtrading. The fatal flaw that kills a majority of traders. This kills a majority of traders' characters, and this is The major reason I personally feel like why most people can't turn profitable, we're not talking about being profitable in this. What is overtrading? In video game terms, you are button mashing. Man, have you ever been like 1v1 in like a sibling on a fucking video game and like you actually play this video game? And like, you're trying to like input combos. Oh man. So let me give you an example. I play Mortal Kombat a lot, right? I play Mortal Kombat a lot, and I take all my time, I put all my energy into like learning all the moves, right? And then I'll fight my cousin in Mortal Kombat, and he'll just button mash. And no matter what I do, he'll just like end up beating me sometimes. But it's not until when I sit up and I lock in and I focus, then he stands no chance. His button mashing doesn't work anymore, and he slowly starts to lose hope and become upset. That is what the market is. Let me break that down to you in market terms. You might be able to button mash sometimes and get lucky, and you feel good in those moments. But as soon as the market sits up, stops arching his back, glares at the screen without blinking, you are going to get destroyed. You're going to get dog walked. Don't believe me? Go test it out for yourself. The cause of overtrading, simply put, is boredom. Oh, and nobody talks about this. The cause of overtrading is boredom and the need for control. Whew. You are bored. You're bored. You're bored. I feel like as humans, we constantly always need to be doing something. Whether you call yourself a boring person or not, you don't even realize it. You might be tapping your foot right now, bobbing your head. Your brain is always trying to do something. Well, you need to understand something is that these markets are going to take advantage. They're going to take advantage of your identity. The markets are going to take advantage of your identity before they even think about attacking your health bar. We talked about that earlier. So if you're bored and you feel like you need to constantly do something, and you're spamming buy and sell button, just trying to get a hit of dopamine, the market is going to see that flaw in your identity and it's going to attack it. And then you're going to feel like nothing works, your strategy doesn't work, or that YouTuber was lying to you. It's bullshit. Simply because you're bored and you can't sit on your hands and you lack the patience that it takes to wait for specific things to happen because you're trying to convince yourself you see something that isn't there, or it's going to go your way although you have no confirmation. You're simply bored. Cut it out. Need for control. I feel like as humans, we all feel like we need a control on certain aspects of our life, and trading is no different. In fact, I feel like it's worse because you're dealing with money, and money determines the direction and quality of all of our lives, and money determines the direction and quality of all of our lives as human beings. So we feel the need to control the market, not realizing that the market isn't something you can control. The market is something that controls you. Well, if the cause for overtrading is boredom and our need for control, what do you think the effect of that is? Simply put, the effect is death. Overtrading. The cause of overtrading is boredom or need for control. The effect from that cause is death. You must understand, boredom in the game of trading kills more accounts than bad analysis. If you're bored in this game and you lack the qualities it takes to be a good trader, death is all that waits for you on the other side. Another thing I would like to talk about is stamina collapse. So before, we talked about the stamina bar on your create a character, which is simply put just you as a person. It is who you are as a trader. But I want to talk about stamina collapse and dive a bit more into it. Simply put, stamina collapse is just you trading for long sessions and just like emotional swing trading. Those things can cause your stamina bar to collapse over a period of time. If you're trying to trade for 24 hours in a day, or you're sitting in front of a chart for 10 hours and you have no other hobbies outside your life, you are collapsing your stamina bar. Even if you have all of the good qualities that it takes to be a good trader, you need to understand that you cannot sit in front of a chart for 10 hours every single day. You need hobbies. You need other things to do. Go watch TV. You are actively collapsing your stamina bar. And as we discussed before, if you collapse your stamina bar, it is over. The effect of collapsing your stamina bar from long sessions or like emotional swing trading, the effect of that is just poor execution. Your execution on your trades, aka your decision-making quality, reduces in quality on your next trade now, or on your next few trades, because you lack the mental clarity that you need inside of the markets, because you've been staring at candlesticks or order flow or whatever it is you're staring at for 10, 13, 15 hours. Bro, you gotta go outside and touch some grass, bro. No, seriously though, man. You can't stare at charts all day, every day. I feel like we've all been there at some point. But you need to understand that at some point you have to come out of it, because you're hindering yourself and you're holding yourself back by doing that. It doesn't feel like it, but I can promise you, you are actively collapsing your stamina bar over a period of time. When it hits 0, it will hit hard. It will hit harder than the person that collapses their stamina bar in a single day. I can promise you that. It will hit 10 times harder. And since it's hitting 10 times harder, it is going to take longer to come out of that period of exhaustion, because you've mentally drained yourself. You have mentally drained yourself. You will find the same setups that you've once found success on, where you've had good execution, but all of a sudden now your executions are worse. It's worse. It's literally the same exact setup. You waited for everything, but your execution got worse somehow. That's because you are mentally draining your stamina bar. Do not put your obsession in a recession. I'll say it again. Do not put your obsession into a recession. You need to know when and how to have balance if you're going to become a trader. No more long 13, 14-hour sessions. No more emotional swing trading. For those of you who are new, we'll get into that at a later point. But to the person who's been around for a while, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You need to start creating systems for your mental. Before each trading day, you need to have a 1, 2, 3 system that you go over every single time before you trade. In video game terms, before you go into battle, before you select your game mode, before you choose your map, you need to first check your stats. Before every session, you have to ask yourself, HP wise, can I take a loss today? Stamina wise, am I calm today or am I forcing? And identity wise, are you there in the market to properly and efficiently execute, or are you there to just try to prove something to yourself? Are you there to try to prove something to other people? Are you chasing validation? Are you seeking approval? Or are you there to efficiently, effortlessly execute your trading model? If you ask yourself if you can take a loss today and you get cold feet, or you say no, simply put, close the laptop, reevaluate. If you ask yourself if you're in a trade or before you take a trade, am I calm or am I forcing this trade? If the answer is I'm forcing the trade, or if you even struggle for a second to answer that question, shut it down and reevaluate. Identity-wise, are you there to efficiently and properly execute your trading model? In video game terms, are you there to properly swing your sword at the bad guy? Or are you there to try to prove something to the other players in the lobby? Because I can tell you right now, if you're there to try to prove something to the other players in the lobby, you are going to fail long term. And you must understand that nobody even cares in the first place. If you're there to prove something to yourself, you're going to fail. The markets don't care what you want to prove to yourself. The only thing that matters is how efficiently and effortlessly you can execute your trading model, or in video game terms, how efficiently you can swing your sword every single time, every single day. It is a robotic system that does not change. It doesn't care about your emotions. It doesn't care about your goals. It doesn't care what you think or what you have to prove, no matter what it is. It doesn't care. You must understand that. Before going into each session, you need to set session rules, aka game boundaries, and give them extremely hard game boundary rules. Example, the max trades I'm going to take per session is 2 to 3. The max loss I'm going to accept today in this one day is X amount of dollars. I am only going to have one directional bias today based off the higher time frame. I am only looking to take trades in the direction of the higher time frame bias. If it's doing anything else, I'm not taking that trade. Having guardrails set up in place like this before going into a trading session will completely change the game board for you. Hard stop rules, metal guardrails set up that you follow to a T and you stick to no matter what will protect your health bar in this game. It is what is going to keep you alive. You statistically cannot fail with hard boundary rules. You must understand. Like, bro, you have to understand, okay? You have to understand that rules aren't restrictive, they're protective. I know, like, we've grown up our whole life, like, oh, I can't wait to grow up. And like when we were a kid, like, oh, you were saying all the time, I can't wait to grow up and be an adult. And we all know why we said that, because we thought it came with no rules. The ultimate freedom, that's what we thought that was. Well, we quickly learned as we got older, or once we turned into adults, that it was just as restrictive as being a kid, right? So we've wrapped ourselves in this idea with most of the things that we do in our life that rules are really restrictive to us as adults. And why that is true, you have to understand that in trading, rules aren't restrictive. They're protective. You have to understand that. And the reason I'm talking about this is because this is all internal. This isn't something that somebody can just teach you and you're like, oh, I'll just get over it. No, these are nights of self-reflection, being honest with yourself, being truthful. Nobody likes the truth told to their face. If you can't have the truth told to your face, how can you even tell yourself the truth, right? Rules aren't restrictive. The third step in the system is to log your damage and recover. You have to know when to log your damage and recover. So, aka post battle. So at this point, you've just come out of a trade, or aka you've just come out of a battle in the video game. So what are you doing after the session? And we're going to deep dive into this in a later video. So this will go into the how to properly journal video that we go into. But what are you doing? What is it you're exactly doing after each session? So the first thing you should be doing is documenting what damage did you take to your health bar? What's the amount of damage? What's the amount of negative HP damage that you took that day? You need to be documenting what drained your stamina bar, aka your mental. We've already gone over what makes up your stamina bar, right? So what drained your stamina bar? Write these things down. Well, not right now. You don't have to write them down right now, but you'll want to write these things down eventually. And the third thing being, was the loss that you took. And the third thing you have to ask yourself is, was the loss execution or was it outcome? So one more time, step 3 out of the 3-step system before and after you trade is, what was the damage to your HP? What drained your stamina bar? And was the loss execution or outcome? Was the loss you took execution or was it outcome? and be honest with yourself. You need to be journaling just like you would in a video game, aka as known as your battle log. It's not a diary. If you want to be cool and not call it a journal, fine, that's fine. But you need to be putting your battles into a log. You need to be logging all of your battles. This is important data that you are going to need at later dates and to look back on to see your progress as a trader, as a character. Document your battles. That is one of the biggest things in this. And this is one of the biggest things in developing your character. Probably the biggest thing. I know I probably say that a lot. But no, seriously, probably the biggest thing in developing your character. Log your fucking battles. Document your fucking trades. And once again, we'll go into a video on how to properly do this, because nobody ever talks about this. I remember when I first started trading, I'd be trying to look up videos on how to properly journal. There's some videos here and there, but nobody ever deep dove into it, showed an example, showed them trading, them taking a trade, and then after they took that trade, them documenting it, how they're the step-by-step game plan on how to actually journal a trade. That is what I'm going to do. We're going to do that at a later video. I'll show you guys how to do that. And then after you document that in your battle log, after you journal your trade, how to use that and apply that journaled trade to your trading. Nobody ever talks about that either. We're going to go over that as well. In video game terms, you don't rage quit in trading. You review the replay. I want you to think about what I just said. Close your eyes. You do not rage quit in trading. You just review the replay. How many times have you gone back into replay mode to see some bullshit that happened to you in a video game? Whether, I don't know what you play, whatever game has replay mode. And for those of you who just said, well, I've never gone in replay mode. Well, no wonder you sucked. And let me stop. No, seriously though. You don't rage quit in trading. You just review the replay. That is my three-step system before you start trading, while you're trading, and after you're done trading. I hope you wrote all that stuff down. And just to make sure you have it all, I'm going to pop it up here on the screen so that you can either take a screenshot of this or write it down, because we are going to come back to this at a later date. When we get to the video, learn how to journal properly, we're going to come back to this because this is extremely important. So I want to end this video off by saying most traders in this space, they don't need a new strategy. You don't need a new trading strategy. You just need to stop killing your fucking game character. Seriously, think about it. How many accounts have you blown up? How many accounts have you rebought and reset it if you're trading prop firms? If you're trading a live account, how many times have you restuffed money into that live account just for it to hit zero again? The problem isn't the trading strategy. I promise you it's not. There is no right or wrong way to trade. It's just how efficient are you as a character in this video game? How efficient are you? How disciplined are you? Are you doing the things that is required in order to win? Do you understand your role in this game? Do you understand all the other characters that are playing this game? You don't need a new strategy. You just need to stop killing your character. So, my homework to you, person watching this video, is to go back and watch this video again. And the homework that I want you to do is decide who you are as a character. Write down your flaws. Be honest with yourself. What are your flaws? It doesn't have to be just in trading. Just what are your flaws in general? Are you impatient? Do you rush things? What are your strengths? Are you good at sitting on your hands? Are you a fast runner? And then I want you to think about how all of that could possibly tie into your trading. Because I promise you, you don't think it does, but it does. I would like to sit and deep dive into this more and all the psychology behind it. We definitely can. I'll definitely come back to this topic. I'm trying to keep this video organized so that I'm not talking off into an abyss for 4 hours. And I don't want to be editing for 6 hours. So I'm trying to keep this video organized. But if these are things you like to talk about, if you like to have deep conversations, go ahead, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. And then in my bio, right underneath this video, there will be some links to join my community. It's free, no charge, no gimmicks. Just join the community and come have some conversations with us. But once you have your character built, next we can start learning the rules of the game and how the market does not play fair. Because the market does not play fair at all. So we've already learned the characters of the game. So once you have your character built, next in the next video, we are going to learn the rules of the game. So this officially concludes, I think at this point, what is it? I don't even know. It depends on how I edit these videos. The first 4 videos of this series, I know definitely this concludes the first Act 1 and Act 2 of this series. You've officially pressed the start button. You've committed to these videos. If you sticked around, I want you to give yourself a fucking pat on the back because it shows how serious you're taking this. We've already weeded out all the people who have already left. They don't matter anymore. They're just looking for a way to get rich quick, and they're not going to survive in this game. You are. We've already gone through Act 2, which is knowing the world you're playing in and your role in it. I would love to deep dive more into your role part of all of this. So your character. However, that is a 6-hour video that I don't feel like editing, but I will upload more psychology videos, at a later date. And I can really break down into the psychology part of it and maybe give some of my own experiences. But I will see you in Act 3, where we will explore the foundation of the game, the hard rules, and the unbreakable truths. In other words, we are officially going to start learning how to actually trade. I know. We've gotten through all the boring stuff. You've gotten through me talking a fucking stick out of my ass. So now we are officially going to start learning how to trade in the next video. I think in between each video, I'll probably do a psychology video, because I'm telling you, you have to listen to me. Trading trading is only part of this game. I would say the 3 things in order to be a successful trader is, number 1, psychology, understanding yourself. 2, risk management. I know, I know you've heard all of this before, but I want to deep dive into this stuff. Nobody ever does that. 2 is risk management. What does it mean to manage risk without all the fucking nerd shit? I don't want to see fucking nerd numbers and all that fucking nerd shit. I don't care about that. I want to know what it looks like. I want to show what it looks like to manage risk. I want to see what it looks like to manage risk. And the third thing I would say is, so psychology, risk management, and the third thing is self-reflection. In my opinion, those are the top 3 things. In my opinion, those are the top 3 things that make a successful trader. And what you deem as what is successful in trading is completely up to you. Most people would say, oh, a successful trader is a profitable trader. That isn't true at all. And that is something else we can go into in another video. But psychology, risk management, and self-reflection are the 3 things, in my opinion, that make up a successful trader. If you can do those 3 things properly with organized systems, you will succeed in trading. And it is not hard at all. It is not hard. I love you guys. I'm finna go to sleep because it is 8:44 at night and I'm tired and I have all these videos to edit. Go down in the description, join my Discord. Join up. Come be one of the boys. Come have these deep talks. Come give your perspective. Come give your opinions on things. Come share yourself to other people. Come share your wisdom. Come share your soul. Come spread any information you might want to give to others. Just join down in the description. I'm finna go to bed. Peace out.